Welcome back to Maths with Mrs. J. We've been talking about logarithms. We're now at the point where we can do some application questions where logs are used in everyday life. And I did mention in our very first log video that there are at least 3 very common applications to everyday life of logs. The decibel scale is a logarithmic scale. So is the pH scale for acidity. And also the Richter scale for earthquakes. You are not expected to know the formulae for calculating these. However, if you are given a formula and given certain information, you are expected to be able to substitute in and either solve an equation or whatever is required accordingly. I'm only going to actually go through one question. Application questions are really something that you need to do yourself. You need to get used to reading the question, weeding out what is the important information, what is not so important, and basically turning a worded everyday question into a mathematical problem. Usually the mathematical problem is quite quick and simple to solve. So let me give you an example here. I'll read out this question. Your eardrum can be ruptured if it is exposed to a noise that has an intensity of 10 to the 4 watts per square metre. Using this formula, where I is the intensity measured in watts per square metre and I naught is equal to 10 to the negative 12 watts per square metre, calculate the loudness L in decibels, blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right, what are our key bits of information that we need to know? Well, obviously our formula is important. We need to use that formula. What do we need in order to use that formula? Well, we need to know that the intensity of 10 to the 4 is going to cause our eardrum problems, and we need to know that I naught equals 10 to the negative 12. The other thing we need to know is what are they asking us to do? They're asking us to calculate L under those circumstances. All right, well, we've got our formula. So L equals 10 log to base 10. You don't have to write the base 10 if you don't want to. I over I naught. Let's pop in what we know. Okay, so the intensity that would cause a potential rupturing of your eardrum is 10 to the 4. So put that in there for I naught is our 10 to the negative 12. So very quickly, we've turned a worded question into a mathematical one where we are substituting values into a formula. Now we're going to work with this formula and see what we can come up with. So for starters, 10 to the 4 divided by 10 to the negative 12, if you're dividing indices, you're going to subtract, if you're dividing powers, you're going to subtract the indices. 4 minus negative 12 is 4 plus 12, which of course is 16. Now, it's up to you whether you want to just go straight to saying that's 10 times 16 or whether you want to do the extra step and bring the 16 out the front here. Because I've taught you to say with a log, if log to base 10 of this is what do I raise 10 to give me 10 to the 16? Well, I'll raise it to 16. So 10 times 16, which is 160 decibels. You can, if you want to, at this stage, you could say it's 10 times 16 log of 10 to base 10. And of course, log of 10 to base 10 is just 1. So, of course, you get the same answer. Now, if a question is asked in a worded form, you should answer in a worded form. You don't have to write a great big essay about it, but you should answer in a sentence. So you should say something like, therefore, a loudness of 160 decibels could cause eardrum rupture or something like that. If you want to get added brownie points, underline the answer. so that it makes it easier for whoever's looking at your work to look at it and instantly see, yes, that person's got that correct, and then they can go back and check your working as well.